So let's talk about The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary this month. Big D's, entertainment rankings and reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Dual, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1987 comedy flick The Secret of My Success. Released by Universal, produced by Ray Star, starring Michael J. Fox along with Helen Slater, Richard Jordan, and Margaret Wynn. The film was directed by Herbert Ross, who recently directed the original Footloose. Screenplay was written by A.J. Carruthers, Jim Cash, and Jack Epps Jr. from a story written by Carruthers. Anyway, now, even though I've only seen this one time, it was last year, but I decided it would only be fair to just go ahead and review this film, tell you what it is. If you're ready, let's get started. Oh, first things first, I do apologize for this mistake I made in my last video. I said I was going to do Anaconda next. I made a mistake, and it's this film I was going to review next. Anaconda's the next review, so I humbly apologize for that. If you haven't seen my little comment I mentioned in my last video, which was the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 review, so I do apologize. Alright, that about covers it. Let's get into the story. Brantley Foster is a recent graduate of Kansas State University who moves to New York City, where he has accepted an entry-level job as a financier. Upon arriving, he discovers that the company for which he is supposed to work for has been taken over by a rival corporation. As a result, Brantley is made redundant before even starting work. After several unsuccessful interviews to get another job, mostly because he is either overqualified or underqualified and has no experience, Brantley ends up working in the mailroom of the Penrose Corporation, which is directed by a distant relative, though he identifies him as his uncle, Howard Prescott, the CEO. Penrose was founded by Howard's father-in-law, and Howard received presidency of the company by marrying his boss's daughter, Vera. Upon inspecting company reports, Brantley realizes that Howard and most of his fellow suits, that's executives, are making pointless or damaging decisions. After Brantley notices an empty office in the building due to one of Howard's frequent firings, he uses his access to the mailroom and his understanding of company processes to create the identity of Carlton Whitfield, a new executive. Brantley then assumes this character. While handling two jobs, switching between casual appeal and business suits in the elevator, Brantley also sparks romantic interest in Christy Wills, a fellow financial wizard who recently graduated from Harvard. Brantley meets Vera after driving her home in a company limo at his employer's request, and she seduces him after persuading him to stay for a swim. Upon seeing Howard arriving, Brantley and Vera realize they are related through marriage. Vera only seduced Brantley to get back at her husband for having an affair with a woman in his office. Brantley then gets changed as fast as he can and narrowly escapes the mansion without being spied by Howard. Yep. Howard, unbeknownst to Brantley, is having an affair with Christy. When Howard asks her to spy on Carlton Whitfield, who might be a corporate spy for Donald Davenport, Christy falls in love with Whitfield, not knowing he is actually Brantley. The Penrose Corporation is preparing for an impending takeover by the Davenport Corporation. If Davenport Corporation absorbs Penrose, all workers get fired. Howard, unaware that Whitfield and Brantley are the same person, suspects Whitfield is a spy for corporate raider Davenport. Brantley's double identity is discovered when he, Christy, Vera, and Howard end up in the same bedroom after a party at Howard's home that all four are attending. Brantley and Christy in their blossoming relationship, and Brantley gets sacked from his job he did as Whitfield, as does Christy for refusing to continue the affair with Howard. Vera and Howard are getting divorced, since she found out that Howard was having an affair with Christy and was planning on proposing to marry her. Yikes. Now for the ending. As always, you have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid the rest of the film to see what happens. Okay? Now, if you've seen the movie already, please continue on after the 5 seconds are over. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. While both Chrissy and Brantley are moving out of their offices, they end up in the same elevator and reconcile, conceiving a revenge plan with Vera. In the end, they raise enough cash, bonds, and stocks to remove ownership of the Penrose Corporation for Howard, and to proceed with a hostile takeover bid of Davenport's corporation. Vera, already hating Howard for his inept business practices, which were driving her father's empire into the ground, tells the board about his affair as well. She promptly replaces him with Brantley, with Jean, Carlton's secretary, Christy, and Melrose, Brantley's mailroom colleague, at his side. While security guards escort Howard and his aide Art Thomas from the Penrose building, Brantley and Christie start planning their future together, personal as well as professional. End of story. So what did I think of The Secret of My Success? Well, despite after a one-time watch last year, I must say this film was not bad. I will say this is kind of a little underrated. I mean, well, it might not have been as big as Back to the Future, which Fox did for Universal a couple of years before this. I mean, yeah. But even so, it still did pretty well. The film got mixed response and what have you, and it went on to make 111 million worldwide. So that was actually good and did well with video rentals as well. It spent a whole month on top of the box office. It stayed in the top 10 for 2 months, and it grossed, and most of its money that it made was from the U.S., where it made 66 million. And became the seventh highest grossing film in the US for the year of 1987, and outgrossing such films such as the original Robocop, Predator, Lethal Weapon, even Dirty Dancing. Now, the first two and the latter, Dirty Dancing, I will be reviewing those later on this year. Lethal Weapon I've already reviewed. Still, I'm gonna say I really did enjoy this. The score from David Foster wasn't too bad. Let's see. And it also had a soundtrack released on MCA, which of course was Universal's parent company at the time. There are some songs that are heard, but not on the soundtrack. Now, there is a theme song to this, The Secret of My Success, which was done by the rock band Night Ranger. Most of y'all know them best from songs like Don't Tell Me You Love Me and Sister Christian. And there's others, plus lots of other artists appear on here, including Pat Benatar, Bananarama, Roger Daltrey, heck, even Restless Heart. Wow. Anyway, that's really cool. I really do say that this is pretty good. And why it just is kind of a mixed bag in ways, but overall, I still find it to be good. The cast is really good too. Michael J. Fox is absolutely really good playing Brantley, and his alter ego in this, Carlton Whitfield. Next, playing Howard is Richard Jordan, and Margaret Wynn plays Vera. Now, playing Christy Wills is Helen Slater, who previously played Supergirl before this. I know that film didn't do so well, and I haven't seen that film in a long time, so I can't guarantee you a review of that one yet. Let's see. There's lots of others. You even get an appearance by Bill Fagerbakke, who would later go on to play Dauber on TV's Coach, and of course he'd go on to voice a certain Patrick Star on SpongeBob SquarePants. Even Fred Gwynn, best known for playing Herman Munster's in this as well, playing Donald Davenport. Jerry Bannon appears in this as well, playing Art Thomas. I know that's the guy who would play Uncle Frank in Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Yes, almost. And there's even an appearance by Cindy Crawford as a model in the opening montage, which that's really something. But anyway, the story isn't too bad, but overall, I'm gonna say The Secret of My Success isn't too bad. So would I recommend it? Well, I'd say yeah, but just to be on the safe side, give it a one-time watch. And if you like it, keep going with it. And if you don't, then stick with maybe Back to the Future or something. But you be the judge if you haven't seen this. But anyway, what are your thoughts on The Secret of My Success? You can tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And next up will really be the Anaconda review, which will be celebrating its 25th anniversary. Now, I am going to throw in an extra review coming up later on this month. I won't tell you what it is, though. You're just going to be in for a real... Well, I better not tell you. It'll ruin everything. But anyway, you know the rest. So anyway, thanks for watching this. And if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for these other films and what have you. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Back to the Future from 1985. Or if you'd like, see my review of Back to the Future Part 2 in the upper right-hand corner, or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Back to the Future Part 3. I thought I'd just do all three separately. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.